What is up, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WP Workshop. What I want to show you today is how to fetch RSS in n8n without duplicates. Yeah, so here is my example workflow and check it out. So the problem with what we're doing here is that if you use the RSS node in n8n, then it will fetch whatever is in that RSS feed every time. So let me show you basically. Let me create a copy of this one. Yeah, let's put it here. And by the way, what I'm doing is that I'm basically fetching from wordpress.org/news/feed. So yeah, that is that. And let's just execute. And you will see that we have 10 items. So what to do if you have some workflow, and you run it, let's say, on a schedule, and that schedule happens once a day, once a week, whatever. And you want to fetch the items from RSS and then process them in some way, right? But you don't want to, of course, process the same item multiple times. So what you need is to be able to tell if some item has been processed already and some item has not. But the problem is that n8n doesn't come with a feature like that out the box. Basically, you cannot store the execution time of a workflow in an easy way. I mean, there is an easy way, and I'm gonna show you this easy way basically, but it's not something that's built in. So let me just delete this node, and what I'm doing actually, you can see it basically on this screen already. So what I'm using is a Google spreadsheet, and in it, I basically store the last execution date of this whole workflow. So let's check it out. It's a very, very simple spreadsheet. All it has is just the header row and then a cell that stores the last runtime. And that's it, right? So what I'm doing here, let me just connect this one. What I do is basically very simple. So I just indicate the spreadsheet and then I fetch a data point from a specific location. So what it says is that it grabs from a specific range. The header row is row number 1 and then the data row is row number 2. And that's indeed what's going on. So if I execute this step now, what I'm gonna get is the last runtime, which is great. So what next? So next I just fetch the RSS items, right? And then I check if the last run date is before the publication date of any item in this RSS feed. So if I execute this step right now, what I'm gonna get is that 2 posts have been published after my last run and 8 of them before. So this gives me the true branch that has 2 items, those 2 new blog posts, and 8 items in the false branch, which are probably blog posts that I processed already before. So with that info, I now know that only 2 items need to be processed. This middle part, the process part, is up to you. Whatever you want to do with those RSS items will happen in here. And then at the end of it, once all the work is done, what you have to do is just update the last run date. So we are using the exact same spreadsheet, and we're just putting the current date inside the last run column, which is of course this one. And that is basically it. So with this setup, what's gonna happen is that the workflow checks the last run date, it fetches the items, then it decides whether it should take action on those items or not. Then the action happens, and then at the end of it, the date gets updated. And by the way, the last run update is only gonna happen if the workflow processed at least 1 item from the list. Yeah, so let's run it. Let's see what happens. So what I have here is that the last run was on February 19th. And if I run this now, I'm gonna fetch 10 items, 2 of them are gonna process. I just added some wait note here to stall basically, and then the update happens. So if I go to the spreadsheet right now, I'm gonna see that the last run was today. So if I run it once again, it's gonna fetch the new date, and at this moment all 10 items are gonna go into the false branch, meaning that all of them have been processed. Yeah, that is pretty much it. This is how to fetch RSS items through n8n without processing any of them multiple times. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, subscribe. I'm Karol. You can find me at wpwork.shop, and see you next time.